Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. I am host Wayne Moore, aka Mortanius, and we are back with some more Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. When we last left off, we had managed to defeat the Rotten, get his rotten soul, work our way back up to Majula, and have decided on our next destination, as it were. Shaded Woods. For those of y'all who might not be aware, it's the area where we found our pyromancer friend over here. Or rather, where she was blocking. This is going to be one particularly frustrating area, but we'll be alright. It has to happen. Probably going to die a lot, but we'll see. If you folks like what you see and want to see more of me, give me a like, follow, subscribe here on YouTube or both. Drop a comment, check out some of my other playlists. Follow the links from my Twitch to get to my YouTube. Follow the links from my YouTube to get to my Twitch. Wherever you folks happen to be, have yourselves a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night, and get comfortable. Let's get into this. I forgot that was so far down. So, there are theories that you kind of want to go off of the locations the bonfires have set up for you to choose the order based on its actual level. Since this was so far down, it's actually thought that it's far down because of it being such a high level area. Wouldn't surprise me. Hate that, man. I always love these katanas, but I hate the fact that they just have to hit extra stuff with every single attack. Even just practice swings, you have to deal with that problem. Only reason I'm bothering with this is because... Right, it's dead. I gotta remind myself they don't not look like that constantly. I'm bothering with this here, it's just so when I... Well, it's fine now. When I open this, I'm not gonna get jumped. Too bad, anyway. Okay. There we go. Jesus. Well, actually, now that that's done, I should be able to hit the bonfire, rest, and not have to concern myself. Yeah, shouldn't have to bother with you. And even if you follow me, I'll know it, so. Oh, hearing them through the door. Or, yeah, through the door / wall. Message or message? No. It's message. You should know better. Visions of message and then message ahead. Weakness message and then message. Message ahead. Forest ahead. First message. Now, I wonder if they're gonna do it the same. This forest has something particular that is of use to me. More so in this game than it was in the first one. As a matter of fact, I only used it a couple of times. I may not have actually used it at all, but I think I did. Ugh. I'm just imagining the nightmare Dark Souls 3 is gonna be with some of the stuff. What was that? And why was that? Okay, I see how I gotta. Okay, that's what that was. I see how I gotta fight them. Oh, and anticipate. I like that. Ezreal, welcome to the chat. Welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Okay. Another Pharaoh's Lockstone. Do they give you more Pharaoh's Lockstones in this one than they did in the original Dark Souls 2? Makes me wonder if some of the stones are used during the DLCs. Speaking of which, I actually need to check to see when I need to start the first one of those. If ever there was an area to be swarmed in. Yeah, it's going to be. I can already tell. But I'm ready for it. Dark Souls 3, or Dark Souls as a whole, the whole series has been on my list for a while. 3 was something I wanted to get around to. And since initially I had never played the DLCs for the first 2, I'm like, yeah, this will actually be perfect. Heard a lot of people talk about how hard 3 was when it first dropped, not to mention all of the fixes and additions, and I'm like, woof. But so long as I've got my katana, I'm gonna be alright. But if not, hey. What was that? If not, we'll improvise. I forgot this bonfire was here. Oh, actually. Fire, therefore, visions a message. Yep. Yeah, okay. Interesting. Either they changed things, or it's just been a while and I'm misremembering. Ugh. And there it is, children. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say Dark Souls 2 didn't feel like a real Dark Souls game. I can respect it, you know. Especially with how it dropped and how disconnected it all is. The way I like to see it is more of it's disconnected and shit. Wondered when I was gonna start running across these again. I didn't expect to see them here though. The way I like to see it is it's disconnected in the sense of Drang Lake versus Lordran and whatnot. You think I'm finna walk into a trap? Come on now. Oh, so that's both of y'all. Well, I'll see your trap and I'll raise you coming back later. It is very disconnected in terms of the first game, and I think it's supposed to be disconnected in the third game because I want to say, from what people have said, it's the first and third are quite connected, like easily, noticeably connected. What was that? Noticeably connected, but to what degree I can't exactly say. But I'd like to see 2 as more of a... The same thing happens everywhere to an extent. There are balance... What the... Oh, okay. There are balance keepers everywhere. There are specific individuals that obviously rule, you know. But there are others who might need to either rule as sort of like less leaders and more like regents, I guess you could say. Oh, well, there's that problem. Yeah, there are a few. Like, there are a few additions I do like. What the... Okay. If nobody told you you could bend arrows in midair, and I gave you a bow and I told you to fire, what would you do? Let your instincts guide you. Yeah, I had heard he didn't have much connection with Dark Souls 2 either. Such a shame. I actually heard he doesn't get into most of his games, but considering creating these games takes so much from his life, personal and like professional, the amount of stress on top of the fact that, I mean, think about it. The Dark Souls universe as a whole, phenomenal stories, phenomenal storytelling, and most of the knowledge that you gain based on the stories comes from the gear or the spells or the individuals you talk to and do or don't kill, depending on what playthrough you're on. Add to that the fact that he basically knows it all, and it's like, you know, the end of some of the best books out there. The beginning, middle, and end of some of the best books out there. And you always will. What entertainment are you really going to get? Other than the entertainment of seeing other people get into it. Yeah. As you said, plus the lore is crazy. And then, like, to be honest, I think a lot of the Dark Souls lore requires you to sort of be up on, like, the way Eldritch lore is. And that's a lot of digging I need to do. Oh, some Twinkling Titanite. That's what's up. I know for a fact, having watched a couple of Bloodborne playthroughs, you had better be up on some of your Eldritch knowledge. You calling me a fatty, or there's a fatty up there? Haha. No. Oh, that's actually kind of cool. You sort of glide. That might actually be more what he meant. But is there a point? Maybe not. Yeah, well said. It honestly is amazing. Especially when this came out, or the series itself as a whole came out. Or rather, yeah, the concept as a whole came out. So new, so fresh, and so controller breaking. Humanity was not ready for that kind of stress. What the? Oh shit. Okay, I wasn't tripping. I hear physical movement. That's interesting. So they're easier to see now. Well, y'all are in trouble. Okay. Now, what was it? Dragon Slayer something? Nope. Dragon Slayer's Crescent X. Yeah, I've heard about the way some of the... I'm not having it. Yeah, I've heard the way some of the deeper connections between 1 and 3, how they tend to like really bring home some of the you won't understand unless you've played the first one or saw the first one be played kind of issue. And I'm definitely looking forward to that. Poor soul required a head. There was something else I got though. I have no idea what it was. It may have been a soul. I think it was a soul actually. That's actually something I need to do. Is head back to Majula here in a minute. Okay, that's somebody else. I see how they did it. They made these phantoms look less like they did and more like actual people. I like that. You mean Dark Souls 3 or Dark Souls 1 that you went too quickly through? Oh, okay, 1. Yeah, I can understand it. Oh, now I know why there was all this crap on this path. I forgot about that. Well, this is gonna answer a question I have. Oh, you haven't finished Dark Souls 3 yet. Now, I might, yeah, that answered that question. So that was what she wanted me to do. Oh, well, she's crazy as hell. I need a minute. For those of you folks who might not understand, that requires that you have, unless they changed it, either, oh yeah, and I just kind of sort of have just that a little bit. Not really though, yeah. It requires that you have either the, oh, so yeah, I kind of broke one of the rules. It requires you have either the primal souls, all of the primal souls, which I'm still missing one, which is where I'm actually going now, or that you have at least collected 1 million souls altogether. And I'm sitting at a little over 85,000 plus extra souls that I've collected. Yeah, you think you're finna get me killed? Nah, nah. But I'll definitely head down here and take what I'm hoping is the main reason I took this path. Quite something, okay? An item or a backstab? Poor soul, a backstab. Yep, tears. Oh, no they didn't. They did, damn. That used to be the repair sorcery. Yeah, well said. Oh, well, 15 years from now, yeah, it's going to be both beautiful and we're going to be in trouble. A lot of what we do now, if you notice, is starting to be more of a gamified thought process, from teaching people how to code to outright work. A lot of people are starting to clamor more for work from home. It's weird I can't lock on to these characters, but I do like that. Add to that, VR is starting to really get it going. Google Glass failed, but let's keep it real. We've already got that new whatever that is that's out. That's basically Google Glass 2.0, and the initial tech always fails. It's just the way it always is. Add to that AR, portability, affordability, the fact that there's now esports, and the fact that it's legitimately becoming a business to the point where illegal betting is very soon to follow. And yeah, our species, why in the hell am I still going this way? Our species has definitely found its next thing, at least for a while. Now I'm hoping we don't end up dealing with some sword art online nonsense, but let's keep it all the way 1000. People people tend to, it's not every person, but there's always that person that wants to, well, what if I can hook my brain into it and then have it do things to me? And then the question becomes, well, why wouldn't you want full immersion? Yeah, it really is crazy. Had this conversation with a family member the other day, and we were talking about the Game Boys. My birthday is April 26th of 1989. Game Boys came out April 21st of 1989. Blew my mind. I knew they were old. I knew they were about as old as me, but they've actually got some days on me. In 89, I I remember the days of cousins with pages, with kids with the toy pages. And now, like, even then we were running around with handhelds, but now, like, I learned in high school that the equivalent of a PS1 computer is what is running the International Space Station. Now, if that right there don't say that we've come very far in a very short span, I don't know what else is going to. And that's just for basic computing, not even talking about gaming as a whole. Gaming as a whole, the uncanny valley we're starting to approach. In truth, we're closer to the uncanny valley than a lot of us like to think. But if you really think about it, most resources are tied up in creating a product, not an image. We're trying to make everything. Resolution, gameplay, mechanics. If we really threw everything behind graphics, we'd be looking at a nightmare. Now mind you, we still have quite a hill to climb, but it wouldn't be a problem. Oh, well, I mean, the government would, on the one hand, it's like,
You've been long away.
it's not
Well,
surprising to see the government do something like that at all. But on the other hand, it's like you kind of be a fool not to capitalize on one of the largest markets on the planet. Same
visit
time,
me.
though, you always have to wonder how much of that is actually government driven to the point of mm, trying to manipulate certain 50 souls. Oh, that was that fading soul. Trying to manipulate certain factors. There we go. I didn't really want that
Oh,
much, but alright. Yeah, I mean, again, it's
visit
possible.
me again.
I couldn't entirely say either. But there were certain aspects that I wasn't actually aware of or didn't see. Certain ones that I did keep track of. But at the time, I was what? When did PS3 drop? 2004, 2005? Jesus. Old as hell, boy. Old as hell.
You
Always feels good to look back at those years, though. If existence wasn't that much simpler. Where are you? There you are. Gonna need these jester robes. Extremely,
I'll be around.
extremely bad. And the reason why, oh yeah, yeah. Processing power was definitely quite different than what it is now. On top of the fact that AI is starting to make a thing, make more of an appearance. A little creepy, but you know, it's here. Ain't no ain't no walking away from it. What does make me wonder, because if you notice, I've here lately I've been seeing a lot of these weird little videos of people playing games where they actually argue with their AI in VR, and I'm like, oh boy. Now you finna have your AI snitching on you that you've been playing games all day and ain't been at work. Your wife come home and then she asks, who is this on your screen? And your AI girlfriend from the game tell it all. Say, ma'am, your husband was in a serious Rule 34 mood today. Okay. In this particular area, I gotta keep it moving. I did not take the path I should have took. I went straight left and I should have went straight right. This particular forest is full of those hard to see enemies. And I'm nope, that's not the path I want to go to. If memory serves, they do not stop spawning. You gotta keep it moving because they will get, there you are. They will get you. Yeah, yep. I've got company. Uh that's why I put this particular chest piece on. I can't be backstabbed while I'm wearing it. Yep. You ain't finna get me while I'm trying to open the chest, bruh. Yes, sir. Chloranthy ring +1. Now, I don't think they stop spawning, but they will kind of stop coming after you. What the f— Jesus, I do not like seeing people in this forest. Okay. So there's that. There's the drop. Okay. So if that's the case, then here's the rise. And if that's the case, there's the chest. Nope, you ain't slick. Let's go. See, and the issue is, it's not that they want to run. It's that they want to catch you messing with these chests. Old sun ring. Is that what was in here? There's kind of a lot in this forest, and I came into it in the wrong direction. Spread myself out a little bit too much. I mean, well, I say there's a lot. Not like a lot, but there is a few things. But check this out. See the face? Okay, I was gonna say it, but he already did it. He struck the face. Strike any of the face trees, you will draw them to you. Okay, that means I was close enough to get swung at. What the hell? What is going on? Are y'all trying to summon more of yourselves or something? Hold up, let me... Okay. I know where I'm at. This works out. Alright, just in case. Yep. First, yes, that face is extremely creepy. And second, I want to say, you said in the 90s, 5 megabytes. Well, I was going to say you're obviously being comedic, but I don't think so. And the only reason why, memory cards for the PS2 or PS1 were about 4 to 8 megabytes. Jesus Christ. Megabytes. Wow. Nice catch. Oh, okay. Show yourself. There we go. The hell? Okay, there we go. Oh, I was trying to get mine before he got his. Oh yeah, early 1900s. Yeah, my father was born in '66, and he used to tell me about when they would use and see those giant computers that would fill up an entire room, and the whole area would be hot. Would have to leave windows and doors open and everything else. Now it's time to find my corpse in this madness. Never mind. Haha, no. There you are. That's one more thing. I think that was a life gem, a radiant life gem. Really? I didn't expect to see that. on my heels. Where are you? Or did they get rid of you? There you are. Whoa, now, slow down. Let's talk about this. Okay, you're obviously not the talkative types. That's fine. I'm not really the talkative type either. Well, they gathered around here like roaches. That's something else I don't think I've mentioned. It's not relevant for me entirely because of my level of vigor. Is it vigor? Or vitality in this game? Because of it. Nice. I feel that whole gimmick is to backstab you. Love it. Damn. Where did? Yeah, okay, they came out of because I opened the chest. Oh, and I couldn't get out of that combo. Yeah, that is hilarious. That's funny. That's actually funny enough that it knocked me off my train of thought. Okay, now what was it that I got? What the hell was that? It must be running. Yeah, the future of technology is looking real good. Hopefully we don't go crazy, but it's looking real good. Now I remember. The next upgrade of ring, how I just got the second Chloranthy ring, it is better, but it is heavier too. Every ring that you get is actually heavier than its previous iteration, for obvious reasons. Usually though, when it comes to the rings, the second ring is usually the sweet spot most of the time. The third ring is just excess weight, and you don't really get the kind of gains that would make it worth it most of the time. In terms of Dark Souls 2, I've always liked the game. And not, a lot of people never really could get into it. I've always liked it for what it is. Now, I would have liked more connection, but I mean, it just happens that way sometimes. That's fine, you know. For what it is as a game, I actually do like it. Do like a lot of the additional mechanics that they added. Well, to an extent. Like for instance, they have adaptability. A lot of people don't really like adaptability. Because you have to worry about agility for the simple fact of increasing the speed of how you, the speed of you drinking your Estus, as well as the iframes and distance you can actually dodge. A lot of people don't like that you have to increase that. Because you have to increase it, it starts off at a bad scale. To an extent, I can understand it. Would kind of like the ability to toggle such a thing on and off for people who might want like a more of a hardcore run or something. There we go. I'm fine with the mechanic itself. I was listening for this sound this whole time. I think I might have passed it. Oh, there you are. Curse barrel. Unimportant. Just wanted to find it. One moment. Haha. There we go. And now we're finished with this area and can move forward. Okay. That's what I thought. Oh, forgot to look at that ring as well. As a matter of fact, I think I got a second ring. Now, are you... I'm just going to assume you're a person. Look like somebody who was playing full sorcerer at that. Okay. You are the way forward. I'm fine with that. I kind of would have liked to have found the other way instead of this way first. But that's fine. I don't lose anything. All gains. A little bit of pain. Okay. Let's see if we've got the other area. The fact that they also added a repair mechanic to your gear based on try thrust, let me out of here, based on resting at bonfires, but if something breaks you have to actually repair it with the blacksmith. I'm cool with that. It makes your items much more fragile, but it also makes you much more capable of repairing without wasting resources. And if you can manage what you do and don't break anything, or if push comes to shove and you switch your gear out, you'll be just fine. That's one of the reasons why I knew I was going to be running around with a couple of extra katanas. Because I know for a fact with how fragile these things are, I'd better, with the fact that every attack they're taking damage. Right. That's what I thought. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. There's always that thing that you'll come across that don't really hit right, you know. But at the same time, there's always something in that list that's usually pretty good. It's usually one of those, they didn't come out of nowhere with an idea. At least not entirely. There was a method to the madness. The madness just kind of took over. Makes me wonder though if Miyazaki ever tried Dark Souls 2, since he didn't really have a hand in it. Might actually let him get into his own universe. Into the universe of his creation. Damn it. Let's go right. Not to mention having the ability to fast travel early. That helps a lot. Especially with a game like this. Here we go. Perfect. Effigy and Soul of a Proud Knight. Hurrah for gesture. Look at, we can get it. Yep. Yeah. So you sticking around, alright. That's fine. Ah, good. Still a fire seed. Charmer ahead, try exchange. Friend ahead. I'll agree with that. I don't know about that first statement about a charmer, but, you know. So everybody's got their preferences.
Leave me be. I like it quiet. Leave me be.
But why, though?
What business have you here, traveller? You may call me Vengal, if I deserve a name in this sorry state. 'Tis rare to flap these gums. This is pleasant.
That is wicked. It will always be wicked.
Long ago, I was hired to defend the kingdom. I remember a long, brutal fight, and then somebody killed me. Or so I thought. I came to and found myself like this. I don't know what explains it, but it's not so bad, really.
Damn, boy.
Now I watch the days go by and gaze at the night sky, thinking of the finer things, far removed from war. I'd grown weary of battle, but did not realize it until now.
Yeah. A lot of the times it requires us to get our teeth kicked in before we realize we probably should have kept our mouth shut.
I know not what brings you on this journey, nor will I deign to ask. You may bear a great burden, but don't we all? I prefer to stay my distance. But I want to warn you of something. My body. I see visions. My body, headless, raging without me. My body wielding my sword, a sword forged only to kill. My body will show no mercy. If you see the wretched thing, stay far away.
Well, I do what I can in terms of that. Yeah, I have no doubt it's depressing as hell. Boy, they did not expect me to use the binoculars for this conversation. That is not on. That is not Twitch's end, folks. That is the game. Woof. But hey, it's an almost 10-year game of a remake, or remaster. Yeah, almost 10-year-old remaster of a sequel from 2 generations of consoles
I
ago.
learn new things every day. Things never learned in battle. And, thanks to you, I've recalled the joy of conversation. If I can help you, if you require something, do speak up.
We kill the body and take his weapons. That's definitely a plan. Decapitate gesture. He sells a claymore and a great sword. That does not surprise me. Huh. Oh,
Farewell.
Huh. I either never had them or I didn't,
Back
or I
again.
sold them. Claymore, a very large greatsword, very heavy and designed for use with both hands, allows for broad attacks that are effective against multiple foes, requires great strength and experience to handle effectively. Greatsword, a straight sword with a very long blade, one of the few ultra great swords. No human was intended to wield a sword of this weight or destructiveness. Only a few famed warriors have ever wielded this great blade, for it challenges the very limits of human ability. Yeah, and I can respect that. It's never really been my style using the... don't have that. Using the hyper giant weapons. Mentioned it in yesterday's stream. I can use those, but I just don't really get into them like that. Never been the type to like to sit there. I like to kind of be all over the battlefield if I can be. Stable, but moving, if that makes sense. More of a jack of all trades. Magic barrier. A magical encasing. Oh, a miracle. A magical. A miracle encasing the body in a magic barrier increases resistance to magic, lightning, fire, and dark. This miracle is said to shield its caster with the rock's armor, and was common amongst the wizard knights of Mira. Now, one thing I do like about Dark Souls 2, it's loose.
I cannot lie. Sometimes I wonder what's become of the kingdom. I was a hired hand, yes, but we soldiers stared death in the eye together. And for His Highness, I am afraid. But perhaps it's for the best. We knew not what we fought for.
Yeah, most soldiers don't know what they fight for. Not really a matter of fight. It's not really a matter of fault. It's usually just kind of comes with the job, as horrible as that is. They don't really tell the grunts. Never really been something that they do. Let me see. Yep,
Farewell.
there it is. In some, excuse me, in some points, they do make it a point to reference, like older connections. Loosely, but they do, you know. And what I mean by it is like this right here. Great magic spear, right? Or great lightning spear. A miracle that launches a great spear of lightning said to be the legacy of an ancient clan whose leader was revered as the god of sun. The name of the clan has been lost to time, but this gross incandescence of our magnificent father shall never wane. If they ain't a praise the sun phrase right there. But again, that's the point. Sort of loose associations, loose connections. To say it's souls, but you know, not entirely, but it is souls, but kind of a little bit, possibly, maybe a little bit, possibly, kind of. Yeah, cool. Same time, it's legitimately an entertaining game. I recommend you try it if you, like you said, you haven't before, but I recommend you actually do try it. Now, you're gonna want to go in with a few things in mind. You're gonna get hit a lot more than you'd like, just because of the hit boxes and, as I said, that whole agility thing. Pyromancy, sadly, it exists, but it's not a class in this game. But it does scale with intelligence. So, you know, there that is. Like another instance right here. Soul Spear, sorcery that fires souls shaped into a spear, pierces enemies, causes heavy damage. The spell was said to have been devised by a master sorcerer, but his name is long forgotten. Hey, cool, man. I recommend, though, if you do, and you plan on going the magic path at some point, get into hexes. They are a fun little addition. In Dark Souls 1, they added hexes with the Ulasil DLC.
Back again. Well, this is a pleasant surprise. I was born in Feroza, a land in the distant east. When I was born, we were already mired in prolonged conflict with our neighbors. Eventually, our kingdom fell, and our people scattered. I've been a sellsword ever since. All I ever knew was war, and I can imagine no other way to live. What a fool I was.
Yeah, that tends to be pretty common. That's one of the reasons why they pick soldiers. Soldiers, they're more intelligent and more than intelligent enough to ask questions. If you pay attention to little things that you hear from soldiers, or even things you see in some movies that are based on authenticity, like for instance, I heard something as a kid. A tank has something like 30,000 moving parts, and they want you to learn all of them. That is not something you teach stupid people. But they do intentionally teach you not to question, It's useful, but it does cause problems, because then when something like this comes up, you don't really know how to wrap your brain around it. It's a
Back
shame.
again. I'm grateful for these peaceful days. But such contentment lies only in the here and now. Why must life be so confounding?
You have, excuse the metaphor, time on your hands. Idle hands do the devil's work, but idle hands also allow you to see problems where you didn't think there were any. It also tends to cause you to see problems where there aren't any, but, you know, that's kind of a mixed bag. The more time you have, the easier it is to see something. That's just the way it is. This is an Xbox Series X.
Farewell.
I don't actually have a PC to do any gaming.
Back
I don't know
again.
why I keep backing out.
Thank you for lending an ear to my ramblings. Here, take these. I've no use for them. Go along
Thank you.
and resume your journey.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. I didn't know there was an achievement for that. Wait.
Farewell. I will retire to my silence.
Well, we've had the lightning one. So far, no lightning urn.
Back again.
Or maybe we had one. That helmet is useful, but it is kind of problematic. Lightning urn, a small clay urn enwreathed in lightning, explodes, inflicting lightning damage. Created in Melphia, a land that flourishes with magic and pyromancy. You got nerve to tell me about a land that flourishes with pyromancy and not have pyromancy as a class. Though the lightning contained in the urn lacks potency, it is a boon to any inexperienced traveler. You know, and I do wonder if there may have been like issues with Dark Souls 2's development, just for something like that. Like, you took out pyromancy as a class, but you still have pyromancies, and then you speak to a sorcerer that tells you that there used to be fire sorceries before there were pyromancies. Okay. Strap me to a wall and enjoy smashing my nuts with the hammer, why don't you? Vengral's helm. Helmet worn by the ferocious Vengral of Farasa. Yep, Farasa. As Vengral's helmet suggests, he was not unlike a mad beast on the battlefield. As you can see, his helmet's got some pretty good stats versus mine. The only two problems or three problems. 1 second. Sorry about that. Only three problems. It is not at all in the slightest bit my style. Like, I feel like, especially with this chess piece on, I feel like I'm going to a kid's birthday party. Those kids will have nightmares forever. Second, setting aside the cosmetics of it all, I don't really get into the mask. I feel like I'm heading to a night at the opera. Oh, where's my fainting couch? But the other issues that it has, this one increases casting speed by how much? Memory serves, that's casting speed right there. Yep. From 89 to 101. That's 11 point. That's 12 points, 11 points. I can dig it. Thirdly, it ups my intelligence and faith by 2 points. Now that is every level of gold. Interesting. His helmet ups, what is that? Durability? No, vitality. So yeah, vitality is what it is, not vigor. Vigor is for the health bar. Vitality is for equipment load, among other things. Oh, that's something else I forgot too. One of the other mechanics that they added, upping your vitality. Was it just vitality? Or was it endurance as well? There's a natural poise stat now. So even if you don't have gear, upgrading stats will add to poise. And I am all for that. Sorry about that. Alright, now we can get out of this godforsaken forest. Still got a couple of pieces of gear I need to look at. That's what I gotta remember. Going from this area, just take us straight to the right. Okay. I can stop looking like a child's nightmare. Oh, that's not what I was wearing. Like that chest piece to an extent. But I kind of like this one better. This one is from the actual Hexer's outfit. It actually visually fits better. Oh, right. Very much need to re-equip some things and some stuff. They could have gave me an upgrade to the Ring of Restoration. I wouldn't have been mad. I would not have felt insulted. Okay. Where were you? Old Sun Ring. An old stone ring containing a fiery heat accumulates power as the user is harmed, then explodes, damaging surrounding enemies while leaving its wearer unscathed. Our deeds will come back to us in some form or another, both good and bad. Yeah. Ah, so I did find it. Well, thank you. I'm not insane with fashion souls. A lot of people like to go there. I tend to go more for the mechanics. I'll deal with the pretty later. But at the same time, it never hurts when it looks good and it actually does function. Picked this up in the forest as well. Clear bluestone ring +1. A ring that belonged to Fiorenza, the only truly moneyed merchant in Vulcan. Shortened spell casting time. Fiorenza uses riches to buy up trinkets of luxury and rare collectibles, but was ruined after years of excess debauchery. Well, I mean, setting aside a life of a little bit of fun, that's that's usually what debauchery tends to get you. I'm gonna keep it real. Have your fun, but if something becomes that kind of a problem, you're in trouble, whether you want to be or not. Something is going to make sure you understand you're in trouble. Mm-hmm. Call it karma, call it whatever you want to. Call it people being nosy and seeing what you do and being drawn by it. Somebody's going to try and teach you a couple of lessons. You could probably do that. Jump across from here. It's liked, but you know, y'all yourselves have seen me like things that we all know are going to get people killed. Interesting. He looks like a high knight with the way he's positioned. Or a Haid knight. He might be an ally, he might be another one of them ghost people. Yep. I wasn't sure if I'd be coming across one of them up here. That's alright. Damn. Yeah, I might need to do something about that health bar. We'll have to see. Okay. Yep, I hear you. I hear you. Magic bolt. Oh, okay, a crossbow bolt. Okay. Interesting. No. Okay. What were you waiting on? Titanite chunk. Oh boy. I might have to make a couple trips here in a minute. Cause I just remembered I also picked up that twinkling titanite. I might have to do some things with that. That is very interesting. Oh. Oh. Okay. These cursed barrels are everywhere around here. Dude, what now? Oh, okay, I know what that is. Really? Sorry about that. Get down there. Yeah, the way they do curse in this one is different than the way they do curse in the first one. That's why you see my health bar low or lower. That's kind of how they do curse in this one. The more you die, the lower your health gets, and that's basically you being cursed. If curse activates, each time it does, you'll lose more and more. You'll go from literally being alive to not dying, but being hollow. Which that's just insulting. I can respect it. It is a frustrating mechanic. I got no lie to tell you. It's frustrating, but at the same time, it's cool. But at the same time, it's frustrating. Repair, baby. Yes, sir. One more thing to be aware of. Enemies are not infinite in this game. There's a respawn limit of something like 10. So any enemy you come across that respawns, if you kill it 10 times, that's it. So if your desire is to be real careful with your souls, or not to lose them, or if your desire is to or your desire is to not have to deal with a specific enemy constantly, you can farm them into literal oblivion. Okay. I don't care about seeing you drink a potion. I want to see you do something against something solid and it not work, and then we'll talk. Oh yeah, it can definitely get annoying, but it it is manageable. Like it is legit manageable. All you gotta do, well, all you gotta do. Hold up, I hear something out. I hear something out there right there. I'm like, nope. All you gotta do. Remember the big turtle dudes? These ones fight the same way, and I let myself forget that. All you gotta do is use an effigy, and you'll get the full health bar back. You won't heal, but you do have access to the full health bar again. Interesting that there's two of y'all. Yep. And two very shameful things fighting that I just now remembered. Answer that question in just a second. Damn. Katanas. In this one, I don't know if they changed it in 3. They do not automatically come with bleed. You have to apply bleed to them. Luckily, you can find the person that does that fairly quickly. So you don't have to like level the weapon up. Once you get that weapon, regardless of what it is, you can enchant it, enhance it, whatever. Uh, 2, bleed is a base level proc. And what I mean by that is, as you level up stats like, say, dexterity, if memory serves, dexterity ups the bleed bonus, right? Ignore that bleed bonus. It is completely nonsensically, I don't even know why it's present. You do 200 damage, flat, that's it. If it's PvP, it's real good. Messes with stamina. I think it actually takes from stamina. You do damage, the normal 200 proc, of course, but yeah, that is literally all you get. To answer your question, how can I put this? A lot of y'all have smartphones. Like a lot of y'all, you're almost born with smartphones. Us, the concept of a pager for most of us was still extremely new. There was kind of a quote slash phrase that went around. If wow, so they just got this person, this corpse, sort of face deep in this frozen lion, huh? Okay. There was sort of a phrase that went around. If you had a pager, pages were for pages were for spies and drug dealers. That's how expensive pages were at the initial like drop point. if you had a cell phone, you were definitely working for somebody you either should be or shouldn't be. One of the two. To hear about like remote control cars, little toys like that, because we wasn't talking about drones. If you wanted a little plane, what was one of the big like planes you could order? The SR-71 Blackbird. You could order one of those remote controllable planes. It cost you something like 400 at the time. But that was pretty much the best you could get. Otherwise, it was little RC cars that you could rev up. Some that used batteries, but most you couldn't control yourself. You would have to sort of set a point and let them do their thing. You would start to see people with cell phones, but not really. Again, those were the more expensive things. What would really get you was when you would see people with computers. Because then they would pop up talking about, well, I've got this thing called the internet, and it's amazing. The internet? What do you mean? You can connect your computer to other people across the planet and interact with them? No way. I remember the 3rd grade, they showed us our first computer with the internet. Blew our minds at the time. Nowadays, it's an everyday occurrence. It is what it is. Why did I do that? I already had it equipped. Oh yeah, it was mind blowing. CDs had just dropped. Everybody was still using cassette tapes and VCRs. The big screen TV was the literal big screen TV with the fat back. When you tapped it, you had better be careful because you might knock something loose in there. Those were the days. When you wanted a ride, you didn't Uber anywhere, you called a taxi. There was no DoorDash or anything like that. There was delivery, or there was you delivering it yourself. Yep. Well aware about you folks down here. Now, in this one, these things don't give you curse. They give you petrification. Problem. Petrification functions like the new curse. Yeah, it was mind-blowing. Everything that came out was innovating. Cable was something like 70 channels at the time, if that. I didn't get that key yet. Now these you want to seriously avoid. They will destroy your gear. Raw stone. Just by touching them, it's just pools of acid. We'll be getting up there in a minute. That's our hexer friend. Shit, right. Where are you? There you are. Okay. Laptops had horrible screens. A laptop screen was like if you ever got the chance to see like an older Game Boy screen, that was a laptop screen. Just a laptop screen was much larger, obviously. There was no such thing as e-cigarettes or vaping. You smoked or you didn't. Now, we also didn't have a lot of these weird ass drugs running around, crocodile and whatnot, Molly. Never been the drug type, but at least the drugs we had make sense. Sniff this. Why? Because you'll enjoy yourself and you'll miss a week. You really sure I should do this, man? No, but you're going to anyway. Don't do drugs, kids. Ah, right. Repair. A sorcery that dates back further than recollection. Repairs equipped armor and weapons. Uses light to repair damaged weapons and armor. Supposedly this sorcery restores items to a past state. But with the knowledge of this art lost, the finer details of this phenomena are unknown. Oh, yeah, shrooms, yeah. I've heard about people getting into shrooms. You definitely want to stay away from that. That will definitely take the clock from you. Hey, dude, we started these like Saturday. What is it? Saturday. Oh, well, cool. Next week. Though, in truth, I tend to come across people who tend to be gone for longer time frames on other stuff. It's not exactly a good thing, but, you know. What else was it? Ah. Had to remember my exact position to remember the item. Wait, what? Dragon Talon? A terribly worn dragon talon. Legend has it that in the deepest reaches of the Black Gulch behind a door locked from the inside is a magnificent city built for a great slumbering dragon. This token clearly dates to ancient times, but great vitality emanates from it still. What the? Well, it's good that he's clean. And you say he was kind of violent. Was that because he was on the shrooms or because he stopped the shrooms? People go through withdrawal symptoms. It's never a pretty thing. And that kind of thing is always against you. Even with people who love you and actually like do care. Had an uncle a while back who we ended up losing from alcoholism. He could never stop. But there were so many times where we would get into it with him, where he would, huh, where he would know that he's actually going too far, but at the same time, it was one of those things he couldn't stop by himself. He would need help. He just wouldn't listen to us enough. And then you say you have beef with him. That happens, especially when people end up using substances and lose themselves. Who they were and who they are, they don't really mesh. On the one hand, you need to accept that this person is damaged and that they would never be this way if it wasn't for these substances. But you also can't ignore the fact that they are this way. These things happened. These things are happening, and people's lives are still being affected. It's not a way of saying stay away from these people. It's just a way of saying measure all the details. That's the best you can do. Measure it all and move as carefully and as intelligently as you can. It's the same thing we all have to do with every choice we make. If you have beef with him, it's possible. Well, just spitballing here. It's possible it was based on him being on these shrooms. So he said or did something, or you said or did something, or both. But I recommend if a point comes up where you folks can talk, I mean, if you're willing to, go for it. What do you have to lose? This is one of those literal instances where all somebody can say to you is no. Okay. Fang key. A strange key shaped like a wild beast's fang. What manner of dilettante would create such a key, and what might it unlock? I know what it unlocks. That's exactly why I wanted to get it. Yeah, yeah. They even try to attack you. Yeah, stuff like that will definitely happen. And again, it's not like it's what they want to do, but you're, how can I put this? People have like potassium deficiencies. Women tend to have like iron deficiencies and whatnot. I want to say they tend to lose a lot of iron during their cycles, but I might be wrong on that one. Any ladies who happen to potentially see or hear something about this, you know, clear it up in the chat. All for it. When you use substances, you create a dependency for your body. And it's a substance that your body does not have, or it makes it to where the substances your bodies do have are out of whack. They give you too much of something that you're not supposed to get. There aren't the proper blockers in your system working anymore. You're being overloaded when you shouldn't be. So when you take that after sometimes even just one use, but if you get rid of that after 10, 20, 70, 200 uses, you're telling this person's body, you don't need this, and their body is like, but I do though. Why are you arguing with me? You've seen me. If I didn't need it, I wouldn't use it. That's the trap. You cannot let people get you like that, and you cannot let them, and you cannot let yourself get people like that. It's extremely easy to fall into something like that. Extremely easy. Okay, just let me get one more so I can calm down. Okay, and what's so bad is you always deal with those instances where it's people where you're trying to get them clean or trying to help them out, and the only thing you can do is sort of taper them off. Okay, you can still do this, just not to the full degree. And sometimes it works, but some do abuse it. Again, it is good that he's clean. That really can be a demon. Fragrant branch of yore. Huh. That's a shame. It used to be an Estes shard. I'm insulted.
Thank you for helping me. I am Ornifex. I owe you some form of thanks, but have nothing for you at the moment. If it would not trouble you, could you visit my abode just down the way?
Sorry about that, folks. Yeah, I have no problem visiting your abode just down the way. Okay, I've seen enough of that. I had no ambitions on that frame, but you know, wanted to be exactly sure what I was looking at, and yeah, I'm good. Even on any other possible ambitions, I know enough. No offense, I don't even want to know how you folks are made. That's kind of, how do you eat? Do you eat?
Thank you, kind traveler.
Does it matter?
I believe that I can be of assistance if you would visit me at my home.
Cool. Like, do you turn it into muscle? Does it like keep you safe? You look well, no. I was gonna say you look extremely fragile, but that body, setting aside the graphics issues or the graphics scale, it actually does look like she might be pretty fit. So it is what it is. She probably alright. Never actually saw her in Scholar of the First Sin detail before. It's like, whoa. You are, if ever there was a living creature designed to be a beanpole, your people win. No offense. Yeah, it has been actually a pretty good chat. It's always good to come across folks who get into this kind of stuff and then actually want to converse, pick up a few things, learn a bit of history, and some entertainment along the way. But that, folks, is going to be the end of episode 13 of Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. If and you folks like what you see and want to see more of me, give me a like, follow, subscribe here on YouTube or both. Drop a comment. Check out some of my other playlists. Follow the links from my Twitch to get to my YouTube. Follow the links from my YouTube to get to my Twitch. And wherever you folks happen to be, have yourselves a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night. And God bless you.